So the big question is this: how do most agents who struggle to get the information that most successful agents hoard to themselves grow and prosper without this information? That's the big question, and this video cast is the answer. Welcome to Real Estate Rockstars. I'm your host, Pat Hiban. And now, for the review of the day. All right, I got a review here from KWC. Pat always talks on the podcast about providing real actionable information, and it's true. Pat Hiban interviews Real Estate Rockstars as a value to all agents, whether they're newer in the business or a 16-year veteran like myself. There are a few podcasts that I look forward to each week and listen to every single episode. This is definitely one of them. Keep up the great work. Thank you, KWC. Keep the comments coming, guys. I love them. And remember, I eat feedback for breakfast, so give me a 1-star review if you want, or a 5-star review if you want. I don't care. And the more reviews we get, the better guests we get. So please, subscribe first, and then leave us a review or wherever you're listening. All right, Rockstar Nation, I got an awesome guest today. Listen to this. I had this guy back. I had this guy on. This keeps happening. People come back on, I lost track of him, right? He was on episode 220 back in the day. Now we're closing in on 800, and I was able to get him back. Hard guy to get a hold of, hard guy to pin down, and so we are lucky today to have him back. Mr. Nick Shivers from Portland, Oregon is absolutely crushing things and has a very, very inspirational and a very soulful way of getting business, keeping business, and doing well in this game. And I'm excited to explore that more with him today. Welcome back to Real Estate Rockstars, Mr. Nick Shivers.
Out from the grave, Pat. This is Nick. I'm still around. I'm an old, that one-tooth saber-tooth tiger. That's me. Yeah, that's me. And I'm back.
Well, you look exactly the same, man. So congrats on that. So, all right. Well, why don't you give everybody a little rundown on who you are, Nick, so they get to know you better.
Sure. I'm Nick Shivers out of Portland, Oregon. Only guy in the real estate history of Portland to lose his real estate license for a advertising violation. So I am a little bit of a pirate here, Pat.
Really?
Yeah.
First of all, I don't believe that, because people don't lose their license for that. They use it for embezzling money or race discrimination or something. So I'm a little bit curious. I'm not saying that's BS,
right?
But we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. Go ahead. Sorry, don't mean to cut you off.
No worries. Been in the business about 19 years. Roughly, we've been selling about $100 million of real estate every year for the last 10 years. And as we know, with over $13 billion of real estate venture capital coming into the game, us saber-toothed tigers have to always evolve.
Wow. That's it. It's something that people should be writing, right? With over $13 billion of Wall Street money coming into the game that did not exist before.
Yeah. Here's a good 381 times the amount spent in 2010.
Wow. 380 times the money. Well, explain that.
There was $33 million invested in real estate technology in 2010, and there's over $13 billion was invested in 2018.
So what does that mean to me? What does it mean? I'm an agent driving down the street in Tupelo, Mississippi, listening to this podcast, and I sold 21 houses last year, hoping to sell 22 next year. What's that mean to me?
Well, I think what it means to you is Wall Street thinks that you're irrelevant and that they can do it better. They believe that a 50,000 foot view is better than boots on the ground view, and I totally disagree. And that's why I think the best of the best will stay around and thrive.
Man, that's crazy. That's a lot of money. So you're saying that basically Wall Street feels like they can create technology that can do it better than the realtor, i.e. technology, instead of a dispatch person at a taxi station picking up the phone and saying, where would you like to go to today? An app like Uber, right, would be an example.
Yep.
Instead of a Blockbuster video store where people walk in and grab a thing, and an app like Netflix certainly does it better than those two things. So tell me why you think the real estate agent is any different.
Well, I think we're oversimplifying when they talk technology, and I think that we're oversimplifying the real estate process. This is not just a transaction. This is emotions. This is counseling. This is advising. As we know, this even today, even I don't care what Gary Vaynerchuk says. You know, I think owning a home is a really big part of the American dream. And I still believe that. And it's not just a transaction where I go in and I can have a computer or someone that's, been in the business for 5 months handling a transaction where there's emotions, there's fear, and there's a lot of details that could cost you thousands of dollars if you're not working with someone that really has a grasp knowledge down to the local bit of what's going on in a real estate world.
Interesting. You brought up the Gary Vaynerchuk thing, and I know that was talked about a little bit in State of the Market recently, our news show. But you know, guys, if you didn't, you know what the hell he's talking about. Basically, Vaynerchuk says, don't buy a house. He's recommending to people that they rent. You know, my challenge is that, you know, our parents and grandparents and people like that, they basically, for a lot of people, the only wealth that they build is in their primary residence. And that's because it's like a forced savings of principal pay down. It's a forced subject of appreciation because you don't feel like moving, but then luckily your house goes up in value. Also, your payment never changes, where rent constantly goes up. So your payment's locked in for 30 years, hopefully. And then when it's time to retire, then you get this paid off house, right? And all of a sudden you're worth $500,000 where you weren't before because you paid 50 for the house and the house is paid off. And so it's forced savings. And I think that the average person cannot save $500,000 without wanting to buy a frickin' boat and go on a Disney cruise for 3 weeks. So you know what I mean? So that's my challenge with what he's saying. Talk to me about that.
Well, I would agree 100%. It is for savings. And a lot of when people are bashing real estate, they don't talk about the tax savings as well, that on, up to $10,000 on your property taxes, capital gains. I mean, where can you sell a property after let's say if you're a young person and you're buying a house and in 2 years you make $50,000 because you put some sweat equity and you get that tax free. We are not Gary Vaynerchuk, and we don't get these inside opportunities on these new startups that he's saying, oh, that's the way to do it. Well, guess what? I'm not Gary V, and I don't have those opportunities. But hey, I'm a local guy in Tuckbuck, Mississippi, and I know the real estate market. I can make a fortune that way if I just get down and understand that simplicity.
Yeah, and a majority of Gary Vaynerchuk's listeners are, broke as a $3 watch. You know what I mean? Yep. They're just not, they're dreamers that want to go from zero to hero. You know what I mean? Hey, let's call it what it is. You know what I mean? So it's just stupid, right? It's just stupid to tell people don't save money for a rainy day. It's asinine because there's so much. There's rainy days man, you need stability in your life because you're going to go through cycles.
Yeah. You know, Pat, one of the cool things about in the recent years, especially with our Sell a Home, Save a Child program, I get the opportunity to visit me and my family. We just got back from Haiti. And one of the things, you know, when we go in there, we're like, you know what, I'm going to come in there with American ingenuity and systems. And I'm going to fix things. And the reality is there are a lot of things that those countries can teach us. And some of the things that we want to fix maybe don't need to be fixed because there's less materialism and there's more community in a lot of those places. And sometimes it's forced. We're talking about forced savings in countries like there's forced community because you have to rely on your buddy next door. He's the you know, the wood maker and you're the steel maker, and that's how you survive. So
It's
the
hard. It's
reality,
hard to make a difference, you know, for more than, I mean, you don't want to say you can't make a difference, but at the same time, you can't, you know, it's very difficult to change the world. You can change a person's world,
yep,
you know,
that person can change somebody.
you like you could be like David Bowie, you know, we can be heroes just for one day.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like you can be a hero today, but you know, but you're right. It's trying to change an entire culture, entire way of thinking. I mean, is it could be dangerous. So, all right. So let's talk about this. You've given back $1.3 million to charity through being a real estate agent, and I mean, like most people are like, oh yeah, well, you know, I always give back to my community, and then when they compare it on a proportionate basis to their income, it's chintzy. It's like, okay, I made 100 grand in commissions, and you thought you gave a lot, but when you looked at it, you gave $300, which is 0.03% of the money that you made. You know, so a lot of people are false prophets when it comes to giving back. I think the way that they, and this is his opinion, should. Talk to me about what you do, how you do it, how you've sustained it for so long. Give me the whole rundown, Nick.
Okay, so I'll give you the quick story, Pat. Was I was in Nicaragua, let's say in 2002, and I bought some land, sold the land, made some good money, and then I decided I was going to build a resort there. So I bought 100 acres, and then the crash happened in 2005, failed miserably. But in the meantime, I got to meet an incredible lady that had a vision of taking young girls out of a garbage dump in Managua, Nicaragua.
Holy
Remember
dirt. Yeah, let's slow
this?
this down.
Yeah.
First of all, do you still have the 100 acres? Or you lose that?
No, I still have it with a little tiny beach house, but there's no
100
resort on it,
acres.
Pat.
No, there's no resort, but you have a beach house in Nicaragua with 100. Well, it's good for the ego, right? You could say, man, I got 100 acres. I got a ranch.
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead. So you met this lady and wow. And so there's kids like in India climbing over stuff, picking up trash, picking up chicken bones and trying to, you know, suck the meat off them, stuff like that.
It was probably worse than that. But
Damn.
so Gloria basically said what's happening in this community is these young girls are being prostituted in order for their families to get the first pick of the dump.
Yeah. Okay. So let me, God, what? So they pimp out essentially their own children out of desperation.
Yep.
And then that allows them to skip the line, like bribing a bouncer at a nightclub.
Yep.
To enter into the dump, which is guarded by a gang or something, and then the gang lets them into the dump to pick out some trash early because of the sexual favor or whatever. Is that good?
Yep.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, it was, Pat, when I went and saw this with my own eyes, I wish I could say I wanted to be the hero, but I really just wanted to.
Yeah, you wanted them there and just go and start cracking some heads and being like, everybody has free reign in this dump.
Yeah. I wanted to because I had young children, and I was just like, I got to get out of here. It was surreal. It was almost not real, but it was real. And I had a friend look at me and he said, man, we can leave, but these kids can't. What are we going to do about it? So that kind of started us on a mission to, because once you're a real dirtbag if you don't do anything once you see something like that. Let me tell you.
Well, yeah, that's a great ethical question, right? Is that it's like the Joseph Campbell philosophy of, if you don't do anything, is that considered immoral? And so keep talking. Yeah.
Yeah. So fast forward, I came back, my own personal team. We started helping an organization that I got involved with called Forward Edge International that was trying to build a children's home for those girls in the dump. And remember, the vision was from the local person in Nicaragua, a woman, a national, not the Americans. But
yeah, right.
So we came alongside. Fast forward now, we've taken 47 girls out of that dump. One just graduated college. One just got married, and girls from the dump, you traditionally didn't get married. One just started a business, a beauty parlor, and another girl just graduated from military school. So here's the cool thing, because we talked about some horrible stuff, but the girls that we have taken out have went back to the school by the dump, taught at the dump, and have changed the culture of that community. And they don't, the norm is no longer to do that. So when we're talking about helping one person, yes, maybe we only help one person, but it's what that person does from the help they've received that can change a culture, can change a community. And that's the big deal.
I want you to think about the word toolbox. What is a toolbox? A toolbox is a box full of tools that you use to build something great. At Real Estate Rockstars, we've created our own free toolbox. So everybody that comes on the show as a guest brings a tool with them, and we plow them all into this toolbox, and we give it away for our viewing audience to basically use as they wish. Everything we put in there is an actionable item that can be downloaded, can be printed, can be used immediately. And we got things like scripts and dialogues, checklists for teams, checklists to keep agents accountable, referral forms that are filled out at settlement to get referrals by your buyers and sellers. Everything you can think of that you could use on a regular basis about real estate is included in this toolbox. And it's helping agents worldwide sell more houses and make their jobs a lot easier and processes much more efficient. And the thing is, it's absolutely free. All you got to do is go to hibandigital.com/toolbox or text the word toolbox to 444-999. That's toolbox 444-999. Do it now. Hey, real estate agents and rock stars. If you're getting value out of the content in this episode, make sure you like the video and subscribe to this channel. Also, click the little bell icon to be notified about upcoming episodes. And I would also love it if you left a comment and shared the most impactful tips and tactics you've learned from the knowledge shared in this episode, or even maybe make a suggestion requesting a topic of what you'd like to learn in future episodes. I welcome any feedback below. Now, back to the episode. That's a great story, dude. Give me shivers. Okay. That's funny. That's your last name. So it gave me chills. All right. So, how did you do that? Right. A little old real estate agent, right? How are you, and I'm not downsizing your ego there, but I mean, just an agent, right, in America, doing this on such a high level. Like, tell me the specifics. Let's say someone listening to this wants to do the same thing. Give us advice.
Absolutely. Okay. So I've been doing this, just me and my team, my small little team here in Portland, for about 5 years. Called up my buddy Eric Hatch out of Fargo. He's been on your show.
Yeah, I love Eric. Guy. Yeah.
I'm a lot prettier than he is, but he's still great. Good guy. And I said, Eric, we need to take this program that we're doing, and he flew up, met the guy that was running Forward Edge International. he got on board. So it was my team and now Eric Hatch's team. And I said, there's something we can do bigger. And I said, so we need to get this out further. So we started a movement called Sell a Home, Save a Child.
Sell a home, save a child. Okay, let's talk about this movement. I want people listening to this show to hear this rally cry and jump on this bandwagon, including myself. So I want to hear the details.
Okay, so we've been doing this for about over 2 years now. We have 42 members across the country.
42 real estate agent members.
Yep, 42.
Okay.
And there's a couple title companies. If
Nice.
you want to work with me here in Portland, you got to be a member. Because that's the way, and all my title companies, and they want to do this as well. But it's membership can be as little as $250 a month. There's some teams like my team where we give 10%. Eric's team gives significantly more than that. But if you want to be a member, you can.
10% is a lot, because 10% is a lot of teams profit. A lot of these teams that come on the show now are only, especially the larger they get, are only profiting, between 10 and 20%. So if you're giving up 10%, that's like half the profit on some of these teams. So that's a huge chunk. And it makes sense how you added up to 1.3 so fast. So keep going. Yep.
And so basically what we do is, hey, if you want to be a member for $250 a month, some are doing $5,000 a month. I mean, we just want people, just like Mother Teresa says, if you can't help them all, help one. Okay. We want people, because I truly believe this. I believe that people want to help, but that they don't have the time, because sometimes the good crowds out the best. And we want to make it plug and play, where you get a logo, you can talk about selling. We have videos, and we just make it real easy to get involved in helping kids around the world.
Now, how much does it cost to save a child?
Well, for $37 a month, you can feed a child, let them get schooling, because
it's got to be more than that. It's got to be more than that.
Yeah, $37 a month, you can help a kid. Okay. But remember, Pat, it's not a feeding program. These are children's homes where they go deep with the kids. Because as we can imagine, those kids, they have some deep.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But as you could tell, Pat, those girls are making a difference. Plus, when you see a young lady that her future was drug overdose, AIDS, or being killed domestically because of violence, and she just got married, oh my gosh, that'll make a hard, grizzled guy like yourself.
Did you go to the wedding? Did you officiate it?
No, I did not. But I saw it on video conference. It was pretty awesome.
Oh man. Okay, so how much are you putting? How much is you and your team putting per settlement? Sell a house, save a child.
Yep. So traditionally, we'll give about $50,000 to $60,000 a year towards that.
Wow.
And that's the team. That's not me personally.
And the team chips in per house that they sell.
Yeah.
Right?
So basically, off the company net profits, we'll give a percentage. My agents, yeah.
And let's say if people are listening and say, man, I want to rally, I want to be one of these, I want to join these 42 agents that are selling a house and saving a child. How do we know that the money is, not being, given to the gangs? And how do we know it's going, straight to building a house and feeding and educating these girls?
Yeah, it's you drive by my house, you'll see, I have the thing. But Pat, there's two organizations. Remember, Sell Home Save a Child is a movement that 100% of the funds go directly to right now, Forward Edge International. Okay.
Forward Edge, FORDEDGE.
FORWARD, Forward Edge International.
Forward Edge. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's a Portland accent. Yeah. Forward Edge. I'm going to put the link to this in Nick's show notes too. Keep going.
Okay. And if you look very transparent, you go to Navigator Rated Charity, you can see that they're a 4-star Navigator Rated Charity.
Okay.
Where over 85% of all funds go to help the kids. I know the founder of Forward Edge. He's definitely not driving around in a BMW. And just recently, we teamed up with Hands and Feet Project in Haiti.
Hmm.
Started by Mark Stewart from Audio Adrenaline. He used to be a rock star. Now he's a god star, let's just say.
What band was he in?
Audio Adrenaline. You remember that song? It's a big, big house with lots of rooms. That's like 2000, early 2000, Pat.
Yeah, probably if I heard it, but okay, cool. So you got that one too. So now, what do you do personally? Do you go down there, right? You
Yeah,
travel down there and go to these
yeah,
things and
yes.
help out.
Yes, I do. I go, and the fact is, Pat, I always go down there thinking I'm going to help out, but the reality is I get way more help than I ever
Mm.
give
Oh
from
wow,
those people.
yeah, I
It's
bet.
it makes you realize no matter what happens, and I always tell this to people, no matter what happens in America, if you have a good foundation, you don't get hooked on drugs, alcohol, or massive mental illness, you're going to be all right. So
Yeah.
swing big, go for it.
I love it. Okay, Nick. So let's get some nitty gritty here, and that's beautiful. It's beautiful, guys. And I'm going to put all this stuff in Nick's show notes. So let's talk about you and your team. Like, how many houses did you sell in the last 12 months? You and your team.
245.
All right. And so, what's your ECI right now? Your ego commission income?
About 2.8 is what we made.
Yeah, man. Okay. And then, so, what's your profit?
21%, a little over 21%.
Is that after you give back the 10? Is it really 31?
Yeah, if you factored in, it would probably be about. Now remember, I get a salary on top of that 21%. So
Yep.
if you factored in, it would probably be about 35%.
So right, okay. So you're yeah. So you guys are giving back a lot. So anyway, so you make about 500 plus What's your salary?
A little over $10,000 a month.
All right, so 620. Not bad. And what's your average sale price?
About 425.
All right, beautiful. And then what would you say your percentage of listings versus buyers is?
I think we're at 63% listings. And I think that's going to change a little bit this year because our listing inventory is definitely tightening up a little bit. But I also think that with the shift, I think we're going to see a lot more inventory come.
Okay, so let's talk about this. So first of all, how do you maintain a 63%? Everybody I talk to, it seems like on this show, or a lot of people I talk to are the opposite of that, right?
Yep.
It's pretty typical, right? Like 35 65, 35 listings, 65 buyers. You've been able to flip it. How, why, what are you doing different?
Because every piece of advertising that I do, I shouldn't say every, but most of it is directed for getting more listings.
Like what?
Radio. It's all our radio. Every piece of radio that we do is directed for sellers.
So give me an example of your hottest radio commercial, the one that works the best. Yeah.
Sure. It's our instant off. Basically, I have a program called My Rocket Listing that basically will compete with the Open Doors and the Offer Pads and the Zillow, and it basically says, hey, get the best of both worlds with My Rocket Listing. It's as easy as 3, 2, 1 sold. You contact us. 2, you have an on-site evaluation. 1, within 24 hours, you have an offer on your property and a suggested list price if you want to go the traditional route.
Yeah. Integrity, right? You're giving them both, right?
Give them both.
It's not the bait and switch.
Nope.
Right? Because you're giving them the bait and the switch all in one.
Yep.
And that works good.
We get a lot of people raising their hands.
Yeah, that's what works. And so, what advice do you have for people out there listening that are upside down? Are they upside down, meaning they're stuck in more buyers than listings? How do you get out of that?
Get on the phone, Pat. I mean, as we know, the shift. Let's go a little bit old school. The shift is happening. Okay, so properties and the sellers out there still haven't come to that conclusion that I can't go ultra high price point and still sell my house. There's some things are slowing down. So here's the facts: there are a lot more expireds than there has been.
Yes.
Okay? FSBOs, it's getting a little bit tougher to sell those properties.
Yes.
So if you don't want to get on the phone, hire someone to get on the phone for you and start hitting those phones, because that is going to start getting easier and easier.
Okay. All right. And I think a lot of it, to be honest with you, just has, you know, it's a mindset of an agent, right? It's a mindset of, you know, I am a listing agent. I'm going to be a listing agent. I know that's what it was for me. And you just have to believe that you're a listing agent first and foremost. And then the buyers are a byproduct of listings. We've said that before, you know. So let's talk about that. Are you buying buyers currently? And if so, where are you buying them?
Yes, I do buy buyer leads. I buy a little bit of Zillow and a little bit more of Realtor.com. That's how I'm getting a lot of our buyer leads. But above and beyond getting buyers from our listings and our past clients in Sphere.
Okay. All right. What about technology? What's cool, and what are you excited about, and what are your agents excited about, technology wise?
You know, we are excited. There's a platform that we just recently started from these two young kids that are about 21, which will be multimillionaires here very shortly, called Structurally. It is a artificial intelligence system that is freaky weird. It's kind of scary, but it really is it. So basically, any lead that we get that comes in via internet, that we have a phone number. I mean, they're basically automatically, it's, you know, as we know, speed the lead, especially with these Zillow and Realtor.com and all those platforms. You got to be on them. And this, so basically, I have an ISA and this AI technology that is going after them immediately. And Structurally is wickedly creepy good.
And it's a robot that's following up and texting them, right?
Yep.
Say, hey, this is,
and it has
this is Fred from Nick's team. You know, what questions do you have? Whatever. It's just texting people. It's Facebook Messenger people. It's just,
yep. And it has legitimately, for prior to me putting all my leads into it, we played with it. And I mean, it is, Pat, I've seen other artificial intelligence type programs. And I mean, if you said, hey, yeah, why I got to sell is I'm getting a divorce, it'll say, man, I'm sorry to hear that. We're here.
Really?
Oh yeah. It's
Shit.
interesting.
So like, hey, why are you selling? I'm
Yep.
getting a divorce. Sorry to hear that. Oh, why are you selling? Whatever. I'm sorry to hear that. Or I'm getting relocated. Oh, congratulations on your, you know, promotion.
Yeah, it is hard. It's even me knowing that it's artificial intelligence, it's really hard for me to go, wow.
Yeah, that's a good statement, because a lot of them I can see right through. A lot of them I can tell. You know, I'm like,
sure.
this is a robot.
Yeah, this it would be hard to tell, definitely. And it follows up for 12 months. So if my agent, as we all know, we always, you know, as us team,
right,
yelling at our agents,
die or buy, right? Die or buy. Otherwise, there's still a lead. What's that costing you?
A couple $100 a month.
Okay, so it's inexpensive.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Easy to set up.
It's very easy. I'm old school, man, and if I can do it, anybody can do it. I'm telling you.
Hey, real estate agents and rock stars. If you're getting value out of the content in this episode, make sure you like the video and subscribe to this channel. Also, click the little bell icon to be notified about upcoming episodes. And I would also love it if you left a comment and shared the most impactful tips and tactics you've learned from the knowledge shared in this episode, or even maybe make a suggestion requesting a topic of what you'd like to learn in future episodes. I welcome any feedback below. Now, back to the episode. Wow. Okay. All right, cool. And what about, tell me how your team is set up, Nick.
Okay. We got 8 agents. We got 1 ISA. We have 4 admin, including a runner. And that is I got a very small team in Southwest Washington of 3 agents
Hmm.
there, and they basically we just run, and that's a very new team. So I'm expecting big
So
things out of them.
that's not in your 8, right?
No, that's not my 8.
Okay.
So, and then I have basically a CFO that keeps all the books straight because that's not my forte. And that's how we're a team of, I think we're like 15, 16 right now.
Okay. And like, how are you training everybody? How are you keeping everybody trained and excited?
We have, that's my job on the team is motivation and vision and chaos. Those are my 3 things that I
Chaos.
do.
What
Yeah.
do you mean chaos?
I'm out there creating stuff, and
Oh,
Pat,
okay.
I'm a guy that fails a lot, but I try to fail forward. So
Huh.
we'll try all kinds of things, and most of them won't work, but some of them do.
So tell me about your biggest failure. Like, what's the biggest thing that you failed at in the real estate game since you started, or the biggest lesson you've learned so that we can learn from it?
Well, I would say losing my real estate license in
Oh yeah, let's go
2015.
back to that. Okay,
Sure.
Okay, tell me about this.
Okay, so basically, the reason technically the reason I lost my real estate license is because I had a directional sign that didn't have the Keller Williams logo on it. And
Just said Nick Shivers team.
Yeah, it just said Nick Shivers. It was a directional sign. The commissioner's wife was a realtor, and my personal opinion. But again, I'm going to take full blame. My CFO goes, Nick, I think a lot of those new signs that we had did not have the logo on it. And I was like, that's not a big deal. Well, obviously it was a big deal.
Is that really a strike your license offense?
Mm-hmm. Yep. If remember, 3 years prior, I had West One Properties LLC on a sign instead of group. And so I got in trouble 3 years prior for having LLC instead of group on there. So they called it a reoccurring. I am a reoccurring
You're a
offender.
recidivist.
Now, there was about 6 months prior to that, I actually took the real estate board to court for one of my agents that they refused to give them his license. So I personally believe that was a problem.
Why? Because he had a felony?
No, he had a misdemeanor.
Again, is that Oregon is misdemeanor? I mean, most states are felony.
Well, I know felons here in Portland that have their real estate license. So that's why I decided I thought that was unfair, and I went to court on it.
Did you win?
Nope, did not win.
So do they get to pick and choose, or is it because it was a violent misdemeanor, or
No,
you know what I mean?
Like it was a theft. It was a theft.
So theft in nature. So they don't want you. I mean, they didn't want them handling checks, I guess, or theft.
But the reality was, it was a violation. And so what I learned from that is, listen, because Pat, I've always been I prided myself. I'm kind of a rebel.
I mean, these are minor infractions, right? And really, they should just be fined, and you pay the fine and you move on. I mean, to lose your license, so I guess my statement from earlier is wrong. I used to always tell my agents, I was like, listen, don't worry, baby, freak out about freaking a sentence and an addendum or something. Am I going to lose my license or a complaint? And I'm like, dude, the only way you're going to lose your license is if you if you discriminate against somebody based on a protected class. Yeah, that you're going to lose your license. Or if you don't put that money in escrow in a timely manner, or you put it in a different account, or you know what I mean, or you do something with somebody's money, yeah, you're going to lose your license. But everything in between is, you're going to have an opportunity in court, and it's probably going to be a fine, and da 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 da. And that's what I believed up until a minute ago. And then, maybe it's Oregon.
Yeah. No, Pat, I think it's you don't mess with the powers.
You think they had it out for you because you sued them because of the misdemeanor thing? I mean, what's the big deal? So you were just trying to help somebody out.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. And it was basically the commissioner. He's no longer the commissioner. Hallelujah. I think he, you know, he
Had it out for
wanted to
you.
make, yeah, he wanted to make it an example, and he did. But again, on the flip side, it was a violation. So
Yeah.
and it's made our team tighter, because the reality is,
So how long were you without a license?
2 months.
And so what happened? How'd you handle it?
I went on vacation.
I mean, like, did you put all your listings in someone else's name, one of your agents' names? What did you do?
It was under the team name, so it really, everything was as smooth as pie. Yes, I took my name off everything, but I already had a principal broker on my team. The team ran flawlessly.
So you just had to get new signs, basically, and they said someone else's name on them, and everything ran. And then
I didn't put my name on them anyway, so it was perfect.
I had my license go inactive one time for like a month and didn't even know it. Like I went to change something, and I had to get a record of my license, and it showed that I didn't have a license for a month, and I was like, what the hell is that? And then I went and looked back on it. It was like a year old. I went and looked back on it, and I had delayed my continuing education and not gotten it in time. But at the time, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know I was not licensed until a year after the fact that I was not licensed. So it's interesting. But so 2 months, huh? Wow. I guess you burned those signs, and you got all new signs, and now you're compliant, right? Now you got like 12 different numbers and 12 different names on every sign. And
I am overly compliant. We have a monthly review because I do a lot of advertising, and so, when you're out there, there's always going to be people that
swatting you down.
Yep. And you know what? That is all right.
That's what happened. He was driving down the road. He's like, he probably listened to his favorite country music radio station, and Nick Shivers would come on and be like, "Dope that," you know what I mean? And just be like, "I'm going to get him." And then he'd see that sign on the corner, and he took a picture with his phone, or the wife did. I mean, or you probably beat the wife out of a listing. It's almost a conflict of interest, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. It was fine. It made me learn some lessons that I needed to slow down and not be so, it's not a big deal, because things are a big deal, and let the people that are real good at the details run that and not get involved. So I learned my lesson.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's some crazy stuff. All right. So we always talk about this flagship question, and I think this is going to help you because you know the answer better than anybody because you're training agents on a day-to-day basis. Been doing this a long time. But if I took you, Nick, and I put you on an island with 9 other experienced agents like yourself, and I gave you each, say, I'm gonna increase the odds here. I'm gonna say I give you each $5,000, a laptop, computer, and a phone, and whoever sells the most houses in a 6-month period gets a $5 million prize. The one thing that all the agents on this game show that I'm making up here have in common is they don't know anyone. So they're on a new area and they don't know a single soul. How is Nick Shivers going to beat out these 9 other agents and win this $5 million prize?
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get an ad for sales pros that are licensed, and I'm going to pay them a salary plus bonus. So I'm going to get 5 of those guys. I'm going to each pay them $1,000 that first month plus a bonus, and we're going to hit the phones, and I'm going to hit the phones. I'm also going to go on to my local radio stations and TV stations and talk about our Sell a Home, Save a Child program. And I'm going to start building a tribe that way. Those are the things that I'm going to do.
And that's great advice. I mean, he's going to spend all his money, guys, on assertive marketing. And by the way, listing-based marketing. Hitting the phones is usually listing-based marketing, right? Because you're circle prospecting? Is that what you would do?
FSBOs, expires, and circle.
Oh yeah, so all listings, and circles just where you call around in a circle around a house that just sold, any house, not just yours, but any house. So tell me about how you use Sell a House, Save a Child in your branding and your advertising.
It's forefront on everything. Now, remember, I didn't start this for it to help my business, but I'm a smart guy, and the reality is the more money that I make, the more money that I can give away. So I'm going to use it. Okay. And I'm going to tell them about, I mean, our mission statement says this. It's to serve people, save kids, all by selling real estate. So when
Love it.
my agents, they know the benefit of having a big why in your business. I hire to my why. So if you're not a giver and you don't want to be a resource person for people that need your help, then you're not on my team. Okay, I don't care if you're great. If you don't believe that philosophy, then you're not going to stick around on my team. Okay, Number one. Number two, I believe that it builds a tribe. No matter what happens, there are people that work with us, and it doesn't matter if Redfin or Purple Door or Purple Brick come in and can do it for cheaper. They know what we're doing. And they know that we have a big purpose and a big why. And that's why they work with us. And we're good at what we do.
Yeah. It sounds like you're absolutely not scared of all this money that Wall Street's putting into trying to outdo a human being agent.
Well, I think if you bury your head and don't adapt, then you're stupid.
Whoa.
Because the fact is, it is going to change.
You got to work hard. What you're saying, you got to work harder, and you got to be more empathetic and more of a nurse teacher mentality than ever.
Yeah, you got to you got to give people choices. That why, I mean, I sat with Eric Wu from Open Door like 5 years ago. He told me his business model. He said he didn't have to make money for a decade, and he said in 10 years he would change the way people bought and sold real estate, and then his company would be worth $5 billion. It's already valued at $3.6 billion, and the guy's a super smart guy. And so I was like, well, if that guy's going to do that, I want to bring that concept to Portland before they just got to Portland about 3 months ago. I've been doing that same concept for about a year, and we give them a choice. So I beat Open Door head to head because I give people choices. Right now, Open Door just buys your house. I'll buy it or I'll list it. You make the decision. So yes, Wall Street is going to make the good and the people that are on their game better.
Yeah, absolutely. Because they certainly aren't telling the people, hey, you can sell it for this on the open market, because they don't have a real estate company that does that. So there's no benefit to them. So yeah, you've differentiated yourself, but you're still playing the same game.
Yep.
So
and they will. Pat,
yeah.
I believe they will. They know that that's they just bought a discount brokerage. Why? So they could do exactly what the competitive advantage.
Oh, is that right? What they buy?
It was some online cheap real estate brokerage company.
Okay.
Because they know.
Well, yeah,
like
they know,
Zillow.
because when it shifts, this whole thing, like, I'll buy your house now and flip it, is temporary. I mean, everyone thinks it's permanent. I don't believe it's permanent. It's always been there, right? The guaranteed buy has always been there, but it's always been, like I said before, a bait and switch. Now I guess more than ever, there's more construction people, and it's easier to fix up a home than it ever has been. But I just, as the margins decrease and the time on the market increases, it's going to be less and less an attractive option for these big companies, and they're going to need other ways to make money.
Yeah. But as he said, and it's so far it's proven true, he doesn't have to make any money.
Yeah, that's the crazy part.
I wish I could run my business like that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I don't get it. It's a whole nother world. But look, Nick, this has been awesome. What is your free gift that you brought our listeners today?
Okay, so if somebody wants, and Pat, I don't care if people jump on our organization or something else. I just want people to do something. Stop talking about wanting to do something. Just do something. So I put together a little pamphlet that talks about how to incorporate that into your marketing materials. So I provided a free little pamphlet that you could edit, and if let's say sellahomesaveachild.org isn't your thing and it's pathyben.org or whatever, you could just edit and put some of your own marketing material. The other thing that I'll do is if people email me at nick@west1pro.com, I'll give them a 15-minute little coaching on how to build a purpose in your business.
Guys, here's the thing. Take him up on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put his free gift. I'm going to put that email that he just said in case you're driving. I'm going to put all his links social media links, website links, whatever. It's all going to be on hibandigital.com/Nick Shivers, and it's Shivers. hibandigital.com/Nick Shivers, the number 2. Don't make that mistake, because you'll get episode 220, which was great, but certainly will be antiquated compared to this. hibandigital.com/Nick Shivers, a number 2. I'm also going to put it in the Agent Success Toolbox, which can be found on hibandigital.com/toolbox, or texting the word toolbox to 444-999. Nick, this has been brilliant, boss. I appreciate you coming on. Best of luck to you in Portland, Oregon. And if I'm ever in that neck of the woods, we will definitely get together and break some bread.
Let's do it, Pat.
Rockstar Nation, thank you for listening to Real Estate Rockstars. Listen, I need a favor. If you find this free content helpful, if you find our downloadable items from each guest helpful, please, I need you to pull out your pointing finger. Yes, the one finger that points at people, and hit subscribe. Yes, subscribe. The more subscribers we get, the better we look in the ratings, and the easier it is to get guests like Robert Kiyosaki, Barbara Corcoran, all the players that are on $1 million listing in the different cities. All that stuff makes it easier the more subscribers we get, so please subscribe. And listen, there's a lot of places you can leave comments. There's a lot of places you can like. We're on Facebook. We have an Instagram page. Instagram page is I am Pat Hyben. The Facebook is Real Estate Rockstars Radio. Feel free to leave us comments there. The most popular form of commenting seems to happen on YouTube. Yes, for whatever reason, it's a very open environment. So just go to YouTube and go to Real Estate Rockstars Radio. Leave us comments there. Some of them we will read on the show. We love your feedback. So thanks, guys, and I hope you are having a great day. Oh, and also, listen, if you're going to subscribe and you haven't already left a review on iTunes, please do that too. Have a great day, and thanks so much, Rockstar Nation. I really appreciate you.